Stadium Super Trucks are the coolest motorsport series that you're probably not watching enough of. Welcome back to Grid Chat. I'm your host, Marissa Tandon, and today I'm going to be sharing one of the coolest interviews I've had a chance to do so far. Now, if you've never heard of Stadium Super Trucks, I want you to imagine what it would be like if a monster truck had a baby with an open wheel racing series. Also, imagine they added jumps, allowed them to do wheelies, and bump into each other when they wanted to pass. That's the best version of Stadium Super Trucks I can describe. The first time I saw the series was this year when I was at the Long Beach Grand Prix for the IndyCar race. And to be honest, it is truly unlike anything I've ever seen. These trucks are huge off-road vehicles, but they're racing on IndyCar tracks, NASCAR tracks, and supercar tracks throughout the season. The racing is fun, it's aggressive, they have ramps where they're doing massive jumps at huge speeds, and because of the way these trucks are built and the speeds that they're going and the tracks that they're on, in some turns and passing, you're actually going to see these trucks go up on two wheels themselves. The series was founded by Robbie Gordon, who honestly has raced in too many series to keep count of, but those include NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, kart, and rally driving. The series started in 2013 and since then has continued to put on a really impressive show every year. But there's one truck that stands out in particular to me. There is a hot pink truck that is driven by the only woman on the grid, Zoey Edenholm. Zoey started racing in Stadium Super Trucks in 2021, but her career started out like most race car drivers do, in karting. After that, she raced a little bit in sports car racing, and then she moved on to open wheel racing, where she made her debut in the F4 US Championship. She had multiple top 10 finishes that year when she debuted in 2019. The thing that stood out to me about Zoey even before we had a chance to speak is how much she understands how to be more than a race car driver. She has taken on the role of fundraiser, content creator, trackside reporter, and more as she balances her own racing career. Her social media in particular was one of the things that really stood out to me because Stadium Super Trucks is not a series that you're seeing a ton of mainstream coverage for. But because Zoey understands things like marketability and branding, she actually made her own way onto my For You page and taught me about a series I had never heard of. So when I saw she was going to be at Long Beach, I reached out and was like, can we please chat? And she was gracious enough to give me some time in her garage in between races. We talked not only about her racing career so far and the unique challenges that Stadium Super Trucks presents, but also what she believes is expected of a modern race car driver, what it takes to break through the mold and be seen. I loved this interview because it was a chance to talk to a driver not only about their driving capabilities, but also about the business of motorsports, what it takes to break through in a sport that requires not only a skill set, but also the ability to build your own fan base and become incredibly marketable. I'm so excited to share that interview with you, and here it is.
Hey Zoey, it's so nice to meet you. How are you? Qualifying just finished? You've already had a full day?
Yes, I am so excited. Finally got on track and It's been a blast. I just absolutely love this track. It's the best track. And it's the only track that we hit a double jump on the front straightaway. So we hit that second jump at 80 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
It's so fun.
So I'm so curious for you. Super Trucks is to me one of the coolest series that people don't know about because I feel like it started about 10, 11 years ago, 2013, and it is like this interesting combination of like regular street racing, but also almost monster trucks.
Yeah.
And you get to like you said, take air. What is, like, for anybody who's not familiar with Super Trucks, what do you think makes it so special?
I think something about Stadium Super Trucks that makes it so special is that we're all drivers from different series, and then we saw these and we were like, yeah, we want to drive those. I saw them at Mid-Ohio when I was racing Formula 4.
Yeah.
And I was walking by and I was like, yep, I want to get one of those. And then Robbie was like, yep, let's make it pink too. And I was like, this is the best ever. So that's just like something that's so cool is we're from all different series and we all get to race against each other and just we get to come alongside IndyCar, which is like a lot of people's dream as well.
Yeah.
So it's just so cool to be at an event and also be entertainment as well. We hit jumps, we go fast, we bump each other, and it's not like open wheel where you can't touch each other or you're both gonna wreck.
Right.
It's a little bit of like a NASCAR aspect, but yeah, it's just such a blast. And it's so cool to have so many different versatile drivers in a series.
I love that you brought up your Formula 4 experience because I feel like you have a really cool kind of change, right? So like Formula 4, normally people stick it to open wheel racing and you moved into this. Was it really like you saw Super Trucks racing and you were like, wait a minute, I want to do that?
Yeah, so a little bit of both. I always have loved open wheel, and that's always been the dream. But also, I think being a versatile driver and getting in anything and any opportunity you can is going to make you the best driver in the long run.
Yeah.
So I did just see it, and I was like, yeah, I want to drive that. I want to learn how to jump. I want to ride in the dirt if I can, and there's just so many things to it. But open wheel has always been the dream, and I always love open wheel and would love to go back and be an IndyCar. But I get to race alongside IndyCar now, so it's still great.
Yeah, this is actually great because it's like one of the things that I've been talking about with people at this race this weekend is how many races and support races there are that you normally wouldn't get to see.
Yeah.
I talked to Catherine Legg yesterday, and she was talking about how she hopes that more people watch IMSA, and that's another race like that. So do you find that people kind of just walking through, you can walk right through the sort of garage here, and do you find people like don't know about super trucks and then find out and are really into it?
Yeah, I think that the fan base at Long Beach is just one of the greatest fan bases there is. And it's so cool that we have them coming so close to the truck to where I can give little girls the opportunity to come sit in the truck, which is like, you can't do that at most races. We're kind of secluded at some races, but tracks like Long Beach and IndyCar just give so much access that we're allowed to do things like this, which makes people more involved and love it as well.
I love that you brought up the little girls that you get to meet and like give the experience of sitting in the truck. And one thing that I think is so unique about your truck in particular is that not only are you a woman driving, but you're a woman driving a pink car. What made you decide I'm gonna lean in? Like I want everyone to know that that's my girl truck.
I have loved the color pink since I was like this big, so I just always was like, I want to race in a pink truck. I love pink nails, everything. So I just think that it's just iconic. It's an iconic color. I just love the color itself, and it just attracts so many young women to also absolutely love it and give them someone to root for. And it's just an amazing color. I absolutely love it.
I love that. We should talk. I do want to highlight your kind of more charity work that you did this weekend. Normally your truck is actually hot pink, like your suit.
Yes.
This weekend it is light pink, and I would love to ask you why and just talk about sort of the Children's Hospital and the work that you're doing there.
Yeah, so I went to the Children's Hospital local to Long Beach, and I talked to all the kids there, and I was like, if you had a race truck or you had a race car, what color would it be? And a lot of the girls said light pink, and I was like, hold on, I gotta change this because it's hot pink. And they specifically said light pink. So we went with the light pink truck this weekend, decided to switch it up. And I think they love it. Hopefully they're watching on TV, watching me fly in the light pink and be like, yep, I get to support her, I influence that. But it's great to change it up every once in a while. And I can do it with different shades of pink, which is great.
Yeah, and that's something that's actually pretty quick that you can change. Like on these super trucks, you're similar to NASCAR, you don't have headlights, they're stickers.
Yep.
Is this something that you kind of are like able to quickly change and mix around for each week?
Yeah, we can do it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The wrap teams, the Stadium Super Truck team is just an amazing team that we can do things last minute. I just put the names on the car this morning, so it's always down to the wire with us racing drivers.
Well, something that's also special about your run this week is that you have everybody's individual names, and each of these are individual sponsors that are not the typical where you would have sort of like companies that are sponsoring you, but you actually took to social media and made what I thought was a really effective campaign to actually ask individuals to sponsor your truck. How special is it for you to actually have specific fans that want to see you succeed and put their name on your car, on your truck?
Yeah, I think that it was just something that I thought of on a random day, and I was like, it would be so cool because there's so many people that want to support me but don't know how.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I do this and make it so everyone can and make it accessible to anyone for their name to be on the truck? And I found a way to do it, and I'm so excited. It looks great, and it's just so special to me seeing so many people that really love motorsport, and it really brings community together, which I love. Racing has brought just such an amazing community to my life. How can I impact others? And so bringing them on the truck, watching them fly with me, it's just so special.
So cool. I'm curious for you, for anybody watching that's never heard of you, never heard of super trucks, how did you get into racing in general?
I had family friends in karting when I was super young. I was thinking I was going to be a gymnast and go to the Olympics. But But I had friends in karting, and they were like, you should come out, you should try it out. And I was like, oh, that seems a little dangerous, but I would love to. Went and drove, and I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And from there, I got a go-kart and just went up the ranks and found out that when I was kind of getting better and better and really good at the championships and stuff, I got told that you can make this a career. And I was like, okay, now we're talking. Like, let's go. So it was kind of cool because I didn't know from the very beginning that it was a career path.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't around it. It wasn't put in front of me. But I learned as I grew with the motorsport community that you can make it a career. And now here I am.
I will say that I think it's really cool that you are making kind of social media a focus. I've seen really cool content from you there, which is how I found out about you and how I found out about Super Trucks. And then also it's, I'm sure, reaching a younger generation of women that like you probably didn't know that this is a career you can have. Is that something that you're focusing on when you're posting and kind of reaching those people?
Yeah, I think just giving everyone the information to kind of like, you can do this, I did it, you can do it too. But I just love social media. I just love posting. And now I feel like a lot of sponsors are looking for the full package.
Yeah.
You have to be able to speak well. You have to be able to present yourself in interviews, do social media, and post on social media. There's just so many things to being a driver nowadays that maybe we didn't have 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I think showing drivers too that you have to be the full package. It's also when behind my post kind of showing that it's okay to show personality. It's okay to have your truck pink. It's okay to be absolutely raw on social media. Yeah.
Well, I think you have a great personality and you have the whole package, so I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah.
The last question I would just ask you is the one that I ask every driver that I interview. If there's someone watching who wants to become either a driver or work in motorsports at all, what is a piece of advice that you have for them?
My piece of advice is you need to get to a racetrack. I think that's just the best advice because it is such a community that somebody's there is going to help you.
Yeah.
Someone's going to tell you who to talk to, and you just have to really put yourself out there. And I know it's hard. But just go to racetracks, talk to people, and that will get you somewhere, and you'll find your path because there's so many different careers in motorsport that I think people don't understand. You can be a flag person. You can be in the medical. Like all the jobs that I feel like are kind of in daily life, like we have accountants. We have social media people, we have managers. There's so many jobs that are in normal life that is also just in motorsports as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I enjoyed getting to conduct it. And I also hope you'll join me in following Zoey's racing career because I think she's doing really cool things. And I think it also is exciting to watch a woman own something as cool as a pink truck in a sport that is dominated by men. You can find Zoey on all social media platforms at Zoey E Racing as well if you want to follow her career, see what she's doing, and see that really cool pink truck in action. As always, I've been your host, Marissa Tandon, and if you would like to chat with me about the episode, about the interview with Zoey, about stadium super trucks, or even just motorsports in general, there are a couple of ways you can find me. You can find me on all social media platforms at Marissa Kumari, and if you're listening to this episode on Herd FM, you can find me in the community section under my username, Marissa. And if you want to join a community of like-minded motorsports fans, you can also join the Grid Chat. In that group chat, we watch the races together, share motorsports news, and of course, share an unhealthy amount of memes. You can join the Grid Chat by going to tandonproductions.com/gridchat or by clicking the link in the episode description. Once you fill out the form on the website, I will send you an invite. Thank you for joining me for this special interview episode of Grid Chat, and I will see you soon.